segment, we'll be bringing to you women with overweight and gynecological problems. Encouraging you to give us a call on the studio line on 027371619. Our guest today is already in the studio, as some of you even requested that we should bring her. So for those of you who are fans who have been itching and wanting to hear the voice of our guest, I don't just want to just mention her name before you jump out from your seat. But if you know you have ever called us and you ever requested for her, then you know she's in the studio. Alright, Ayakata, we're going to end up with you right now as we start with our broadcast. Well, once again, I welcome you to this important segment, the health segment, and we are discussing today on women with overweight and gynecological problems. Let me define it. The term overweight refers to body weight that's greater than what is considered healthy for a certain height. The most useful measure of overweight and obesity is body mass index, which is known as BMI, which is calculated from your height and your weight. So being overweight does pose some health problems, but being overweight as a woman does add another dimension to the health issue gynecologically. Can one be overweight and still get pregnant? If so, does that pose any serious health risk? In this broadcast, we will be exploring the matters with our gynecologist, Dr. Eva Robertson, who is the director of the Zuidoost Kliniek, the only gynae clinic in Amsterdam Zuidoost. She will be bringing in some perspective and good advice that will be beneficial to women regarding overweight and fertility. Join us in this important broadcast to share your thoughts. And you may also give us a call on the studio line on 027371619. So Radio Voice of Naija fans all over the world, more especially those who are based here, join us this hour as we receive Dr. Eva Robertson on Radio Voice of Naija. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Helen. Thank you for coming in the studio and talk about this important subject for our health.
Yes.
It's not only for women, also for men, but since I'm a gynecologist, I'm only, I know only about women.
Yeah.
Right?
So you are focusing on women today.
We are focusing on women, but actually it is a problem for the whole community, for children,
Okay.
regardless age, for adolescents, for elder women, elder men. All of us can deal or have to do with overweight.
Wow. So at what point can a lady be said to be overweight?
Well, you know, it's also the way you are built. I mean, some people are very skinny and some people have another form of their body.
Mm-hmm.
So overweight is not something that you can define 100%. But what you said before, the BMI,
Yeah.
body mass index, is some indication
Okay.
for overweight.
Okay.
So we can stick to that, more or less. It's going to be a growing problem in this society because we are a wealthy society.
Okay.
And you see, look at the United States, they have this problem for a long time more.
Yeah.
The children are already very overweight. So this will have some effects for their, have lifelong effects on
Okay.
their health. So it's very important to give attention to this problem.
Yeah.
Now we see quite some people with overweight in our clinic. And it is not that it affects your health immediately, but it can, as you said before, have some effects on fertility, on the way you have your pregnancy, on the unborn child, It can have risks when you have to be operated upon, for example, in your belly. A lot of fat will make operations more difficult, or giving anesthesia more difficult. So once you're really overweight, you are in a category of high risk for operations.
Wow.
And also, of course, hypertension, which is a big problem. Hypertension, but also the diabetic problems can really affect your health in the long term.
Exactly.
And affects your condition of heart and vessels. So that, in short, are the major issues and effects of obesity.
Yeah.
So how can we tackle the problem?
Now, the question, even before we get to that question, Dr. Eva, I want to know: is overweight a culture thing, or is it a hereditary thing? You know, is it something that is peculiar to an ethnic group?
No, it's not to an ethnic group. Like, everybody is overweight. The point is, our clinic is in Southeast, so I see the patients of Southeast.
Okay.
And no matter what cultural, ethnic background you have, everybody can be overweight. The thing that it's nice to talk about it today is that you can easily say to somebody to lose weight, but how do you do that?
Yes.
And thank God we have some partner here in the studio, Raymond, who doesn't know he has to say something, but he's a man.
Yeah.
And he just told me he had some overweight but lost it. So it will be interesting to hear his talk a bit later on.
Exactly.
Because although everybody's overweight, we can easily say, okay, you have to lose 10 kilo or 20 kilo, but how do you do that?
Yes,
that is extremely difficult.
Yes.
So it is depending on your habits, your cultural environment, your ethnic background, what you eat, how much exercise you do, how that society looks upon overweight, how much knowledge there is about the health issues, and if there is any support from your surrounding persons, your family, to tackle this problem. If nobody sees the problem, and you're all the time eating the way you used to eat, and nobody has some knowledge about what is good or bad, then it's like a waste of time.
Exactly, it's true.
See? So the problem of overweight is not just a dietitian telling you to eat less. That is nonsense.
Yeah.
Because how can you do that? You go home, you got your fridge with the food you know, with the way you cook your food.
Yeah.
And so how can you change and get knowledge about healthy stuff, about stuff that has less calories, it's healthy for your body.
Yeah.
So it is a knowledge, a consciousness in the whole society.
Wow.
Regardless of their ethnic background,
yes.
But you should look at in the ethnic context.
Yes, yes. So that, if we will look at it from the ethnic context, in the African background, it's like before. I don't know whether we still have it. You know, it's like when a woman is very skinny, they don't really appreciate it. It's like you must. Even your husband will be pushing you to eat, but it's being portrayed as if you are skinny, he's not taking good care of you. Your mother-in-law will be harassing you. Your sister-in-laws, they are harassing you. So they just want that you add some flesh, you know.
Yes, I understand. Some flesh sounds to me okay, but too much, you know, there is a border.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what relationship has this overweight got to do with fertility? Can you throw a little bit light on that?
Yeah, the fertility problem is basically that people come to us and they want to have a baby, but they don't see their periods. And then we check them, and then they have a condition We call it PCO, polycystic ovary syndrome. You can't forget this extremely difficult word.
Yeah.
But shortly said, it is a condition that is influenced, not caused, but influenced by weight. So when you have overweight, you stop your periods.
Really?
When you lose your weight and you go to a normal weight for your body, you get your periods back. So we have quite some people running in the clinic and dealing with this problem.
So and they're thinking they're pregnant.
And well, sometimes they think they're pregnant and they're not.
Yeah.
And they have even a problem getting pregnant, although they're very fertile. There's nothing wrong with fertility. It's just the overweight, together with this condition that you're born with, makes that you stop your periods. It is like as if the body doesn't feel good when you're overweight and are pregnant. See? So then this couple sits, or the woman sits in front of me, and I say, well, maybe you should lose some weight, which is a really easy set for me. But how can I pose this to somebody in front of me who doesn't know how to lose the weight?
Yes.
So it's a very easy set.
Yeah.
Should I send her to dietitian? Should she immediately go and lose weight? But how?
Yes.
How is their lifestyle? How's their exercise?
Yes.
Can she ride on a bike? Can she go all the way by the car?
Yeah.
You know, you don't know. You don't know their lifestyle.
Yes, exactly.
So let's ask for an exception to Raymond.
Yeah.
He lost weight. So how did you do that?
Yes, tell
and
us.
how much was it? And why, in the first place, did you make that decision?
Exactly.
Well, first of all, I have to introduce myself. My name is Raymond Aleka. So, like my sister rightly says, in our culture in Nigeria or anywhere where we come from, some people think that when you are overweight, you are healthy.
Yes.
They see it as you are healthy, you look good, you look fresh. But before you can lose weight, unless you know the danger of being overweight.
Yes.
So when you have the awareness of, see what you are going to face, like hypertension, diabetes, a lot of things, heart attack. So when you have the, be aware of this danger is ahead of you. If you don't take care, that will push you to take action.
Yeah.
Then taking action, you need to get advice, maybe from the doctor, maybe from the dietitian, to know what to do. Because as for me, what helped me mostly is exercise, because I have been exercising when I was young. Before, at the starting stage, I stopped, continue eating whatever I feel like eating. And that's the main cause of overweight.
Okay.
So I met a doctor and they advised me what to eat and what not to eat, and when to eat them. Because the most important thing is when to eat the food, the right time to eat the food, and the quantity you have to eat the food.
Yeah.
And you must know what you are eating.
Yes.
The content of the food you eat. You see, when if I may say, when the learned people go to have a time to buy something, whatever they pick, is it milk, is it sugar, they first of all go to the content.
Yes, exactly.
But Africans go to the price, which one is cheaper.
Yeah.
You don't buy things from how much they say, then you buy things for what is inside what you are buying. So when you continue buying things, maybe the content of sugar is too much. You see me now, I've been drinking coffee here without sugar.
Yeah.
That one also helped, because before I eat a lot of sugar.
Okay.
So there is so many things that we cannot, 1 hour or 2 hours is not enough to say what you can do to lose weight.
Yes.
So it starts with awareness.
Yes.
Right, that's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Awareness.
Yeah.
And that is something that should become an issue in a community, that you want to talk about it, and that the ideas from the past, which might be true then, that when you're overweight you're healthy and wealthy, that is not any more important nowadays, because we are in a quite good country. You know, there's enough to find also for healthy food.
Okay.
I was in front of this couple and we discussed losing weight.
Yes.
It was a couple and I said, so, what do you eat? And I also addressed to the man, and he said, well, I eat rice, we eat fufu,
Yeah.
we eat stew.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, that sounds nice. And do you eat vegetables? No. Do you eat salad? No.
Wow.
I said, okay. So that is strange,
Yes.
you know, that we only feel that a real meal is only a lot of fat, meat,
Yes.
and a lot.
Exactly.
So, as if when you eat vegetables, that is not a real
That's not food.
meal.
Yeah.
That is no food.
It's terrible.
And, you know, vegetables are cheaper than meat.
Yes.
So, we should talk about it
Exactly.
from inside the community.
Yes.
And the women, I think, mostly cook. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. In the,
Men too, but I think mainly
yeah.
during the week, during
Yes.
the day, the women will collect the food and make the food. So it should come out of the community from women,
Yeah.
where they gather. People should get information and awareness about it.
Yes.
It should not come from the dietitian who's like, you know, a white female dietitian,
Yeah.
probably very skinny,
Yeah.
telling you what to eat and how to exercise and lose weight. I mean, that is nonsense. So also we should adjust these BMI indexes for cultural standards, you know. I think African women look different than skinny Dutch.
But I
know.
think, yes, but I think, you know, from the way their genetic whatever is made, it's like the black woman has that I don't know, that's
Special
already
contours.
how they have some special contours around them. Is that the right word? And then I think that's the way the Lord
They have beautiful
God
contours.
beautified
I
them.
can say that. As a gynecologist. Yeah.
But then
So,
But the fact is that they have to look for a way to reduce the growing of the weights and all of those sort.
so I think that in people where we're speaking now for the Nigerian community, right?
Yes.
Where they gather, which will mainly be political things or church gatherings.
Yes.
There's also mostly a lot of food. I think we
Yes.
should sort of start there.
I'm telling you,
Because then you can, you know, make it common for the community.
it is very, very right what you are saying. We have a social organization here, and I decided to go and look at what they are doing. You know, last year I tried to just avail myself to associate with some of those social organizations. So I found out that it's once in a month that they meet. But when they gather and they've had a meeting, but the food, the refreshment that is being served is heavy stuff.
Yes.
I didn't see any vegetable, just like you are saying now. It has to range from meat, with this everything is very high calorie system, you know, type of food. I think if we are getting this information now, it will be very good. Well, how about you coming there once in a while to speak of what we are talking about before Chief left, you know?
Well, you
And
know,
at the same time, you can chip in.
Yeah.
That's
a good idea.
On this issue we are talking about.
But it will take a long time to change cultural habits.
That's true.
So I think it's good to point it out from a health standard, but a health issue. But there is a lot of resistance because you're common to do it like that. For example, I told to this couple that was in front of me, I said, okay, so if the woman will have to lose weight, so what will you eat? I addressed the man.
Yeah.
You know, how will that work in a couple where she has to cook for him and he's not supporting it, or they're not aware together of changing the habits? Or when they go to a party, you know, it would be very impolite not to eat what is served there. or to eat too little.
Yeah.
You know how it works.
Yeah.
You know, you're a guest, you know, you have to eat this, you have to eat that.
No.
And if you're not stuffed, you know, you're not polite to the host. So these are all things that work against your efforts. Then we always say in this community, oh, you should exercise more, Raymond, like you did. So a woman that works all day has to collect the food, has to cook, has to take care of children. How can we tell them to go to the sports school?
It's not possible.
You know, it's...
She's already exhausted. Worn out.
She's exhausted.
Yes.
So, how can you do that?
Yeah.
So, again, look at the lifestyle about your daily life.
Yeah.
And how can you influence that? And I cannot advise on that. It's the awareness where it starts. Doesn't it, Raymond? What do you think?
Like as I said before, the most important is when you yourself knows the risk that is involved in being overweight. That is when you will run for your life. As simple as that. Nobody will do it for you. You have to do it alone. Not only exercise, even if you eat food and control the quantity, the limit of the food you eat, like
the time.
and the time you eat them, that also can help a little bit.
Yes.
And the type of food you eat, because with the Africans are used to fufu. They start giving them this fufu when they are less than 6 months.
And they never stop eating it.
It's the first thing you know, like where I come from, the Igbo tribe of Nigeria. You eat it day and night till you grow. Then it becomes what you know.
Yes.
It's become
It's
part
the
of
habit.
you. It's become part of you.
You have been stopped.
You see, Nigerians.
They call it swallow.
They do it. They only change the soup they use.
Just to be,
Eat it. They eat it with different soup in the morning.
Soup or the stew.
Stew in the evening, but the same fufu.
Thank you.
Or when you drop the fufu, you eat rice.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the regular food, right?
When you drop the rice, you eat yam. It's the same.
Same.
I see.
Yeah, really teaching us.
I told you, Helen, we should talk about a nice recipe today. Since we talk so much about food.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So at the end, you eating all of this rice, yam, of the fufu, it's still the same carbohydrate.
And also, if I may give me more time, the problem also is we, the Africans, we eat a lot of meat, the red meat. You can see people, they put a cow in the table, they eat it as food. Only meat.
Yeah.
They eat also chicken as meat. You cannot be eating those things and be trying to lose weight. And some people also don't know that the something like the chicken, to eat the back. Back of chicken.
Yeah.
So when I will be eating, sometimes when I remove it, somebody will pick it and eat it. And this is the best part.
Interesting.
Interesting, very, very interesting.
This is the best part. And our problem, like to create awareness to Africans, is very, very difficult. But because what they used to know, they don't want to go out from it. Like when you talk about the vegetable, Nigerians eat more vegetable than the Ghanaians.
Yes, exactly, it's true.
The Ghanaians themselves, they don't
Their own is the worst.
even know what is vegetable. Sorry to say that.
So actually what we need is some chief cooks.
Is there a Ghanaian somewhere? Can you speak?
Oh my God.
Right? To come in for the church gathering
Exactly.
and make a complete new food as experiment and show, right?
Yeah.
That's how it starts.
And also the main problem of we the Africans, when you are, which I'm also the living witness or living experience, when you are used to eating fufu
Yes.
or rice or food, you cannot be able to eat any other thing. And like when you say vegetable or salad or this, they prefer even to drink coffee or tea. They don't see it as anything that cannot give you anything. They don't know the content of the food. They eat the food to get out from feeling hungry, not to get something from some vitamins and proteins in their body.
So there's the big challenge. We are addressing the people out there now for the first meeting, gathering, party, wherever they go, to get an inspirational dinner and to make something that will really surprising to the community, tastes good, so good that everybody wants more of it. So there's the challenge, right? And we ask people to step up, to step out, come forward, and make food that is more healthy and contains more vegetables and more salads. So we'll see. Next time we ask if somebody has noticed any changes in
African
food
community.
in the African community.
Wow, that's
On
very,
the
very
gatherings.
good. This is a very big tip you are giving to us here. You know, I think it's very, very
But it's
good.
fun. It's
Yes.
fun to do something. You know, we should have fun in life.
Yeah.
And to make nice things.
Yeah.
It's not like a punishment that you have to lose weight, you know?
Yeah.
Or punishment to eat food that is boring.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't eat it.
Yeah. But you know, there are certain things you have to learn and you have to adjust to if you really want to live healthy. So
Explore.
The food may not be very tasty, but you need it. It's necessary for you.
Yeah. But you
so-
can make salads and vegetables very, very tasty.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why they don't see tastiness in that. So, what amount of weight is considered excessive?
Well, as we said before, you should differentiate between types of people. And I think another thing that we have to do is put somewhere on the internet or your website or whatever some indications how you can test if you're overweight or not.
Okay.
So this body mass index, BMI, which is a word that I use a lot in my practice, but for people is it a term that's very unknown. So there should be an easy way to check, to do a health check, to do a body weight check. So there's also some effort to make to give this information. When are you healthy? When are you overweight? How can I test that? You don't need to go to a doctor to know. So that's the next step. For example, if, again, I'm coming back to church gatherings because there people meet and there are also workshops, and we gave some talks in some churches about female issues. But from inside the community, you can easily say, okay, here's a scale, go on it, what is your weight, what is your length, let's check. So somebody gets interested in if they're overweight or not. Some people get interested if they have a high blood pressure. It's very, very easy to check. And then people get to take their own responsibility. Just what you said, Raymond, if you're aware of the risk for your health, then you're motivated to think about it, to change habits,
It's true.
and to pass the word. And so then you get the involvement and the not radical change, but gradually changing the habits. That's how things are changed, in my opinion.
Yes.
So the point is how to get this information into a community through what channels. For example, now that we're sitting here at the radio, we try a little bit. And a lot of drops that fall in the river make the big river, see?
Absolutely.
So that's how we start change.
And there will surely be a change. Well, if you are listening to this broadcast, we are talking on women with overweight and gynecological problems associated with it. You may give us a call on 020-737-1619 should you want to interact with Dr. Eva Robertson, who is in the studio live with us here. Or if you have any contribution as per what women can do to lose some weight, give us a call as well. In the same studio number 7371619 and air your view. Thank you. So, being overweight affect our fertility or chances of becoming pregnant. That is what you are saying.
Yeah, in some women.
In some women.
In some women that have this condition that I told before, PCO. So overweight on itself.
Yeah, PCO.
Overweight on itself is not the reason not to become pregnant.
Okay.
It's only if you're born with this other condition, PCO, which we see a lot of patients.
So you mean people are born with that?
They are born with that, but the weight influences this condition.
So may I ask you something, doctor? These people, they were menstruating before. And
they menstruate before, and
then
suddenly they gain weight, and they see their periods stopping.
Okay.
That's an indication that they could have PCO.
Okay.
And we can take care of that, but the most easy and healthy solution is to lose the weight.
Yes.
Like the weight you had when you had a normal menstruation.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So another thing that is very important is when you are overweight and you got pregnant, you have a higher risk of getting diabetic conditions in pregnancy, which could be dangerous. And as we know, Southeast is an area where there is more perinatal mortality. That means there are more children born deaf than everywhere else.
There are more children, come again?
More than when you are pregnant, you have more risk of losing a child in this area. And that's because of socioeconomic reasons. And one of the reasons is an unhealthy condition. So overweight affects your pregnancy, affects the growth of the baby, because it has an influence on your sugar metabolism.
Wow.
In other words, that you are more prone to have diabetic conditions when you're overweight and are pregnant. So it is very important for women that want to get pregnant to have a healthy weight.
Yes.
For the baby, but also for the delivery. And when you should have a cesarean, with overweight it's harder to get the operation done.
Yes.
And you are of more risk for the anesthesia. So in all aspects it's more healthy to have not an overweight condition.
So even with the anesthesia too, it's very risky, as you said.
It's not very risky, but let's say there's a high risk.
High risk.
Let's not make it worse than it is, but
wow,
that's something that women can do to make their health, but also for the baby, better.
Yes.
And then babies that sometimes gets too big because they have diabetic mothers also have a risk to stay big and to be overweight as children.
Yes.
And then we come to the issue that a lot of children are overweight.
Yes.
Because the mothers think we have to stuff our kids to make them healthy, but it's the other way around. They have to eat healthy.
Yes.
Not be stuffed.
No. It's not even that they are being stuffed, but the sort of things they are taking from the supermarket, like those chips. Kids like chips and all of those sorts, you know.
Unhealthy.
So they run to the potato shop and mayonnaise. They are buying all of those things. So those things are making them very, very fatty.
Yes.
Wow. So what are some of the risks associated with being excessively overweight while being pregnant? You said the risk of
you have more risk getting diabetes during
diabetes.
pregnancy.
Yes, diabetes.
Now later in life, when you have overweight, you get this adult diabetic condition. So a lot of people about 40, 50, 60 years of age, they go to the doctor to check their sugar and they have high sugar.
Yes.
And when they lose the weight and get to a normal weight, then they don't have any more this condition. They don't need medication.
Yeah.
And they're a lot healthier.
But I've also seen people who are slim and they are diabetic.
There are some people that are slim and are diabetic. Mostly it's not an adult onset, but a young onset diabetic condition. But the most adult onset diabetes, I mean that you only get diabetes when you are 40, 50, 60, which you can handle with tablets. That is mostly due to the overweight. And when you lose the weight and get to a lesser weight, then you lose that condition. And you probably don't need the medication anymore.
So, let's go back to the pregnancy area. Would you prefer that people lose weight first before they get pregnant? Or they have to be pregnant and then they are struggling to lose weight?
Well, it's in all cases it's better to lose weight before you get pregnant.
But what about those who are big when they are pregnant? I've seen so many women who are very big.
Yeah.
They eat and eat and eat and eat. It's like they can never be controlled.
I think there again we should gather people, women, to exchange information about healthy food. It's there where it starts, because if you go every 3 or 4 weeks to the midwife and the midwife says, well, you know, watch your weight. How do you do that? Because you feel like eating, you feel like you're pregnant. Everybody is telling you, oh, you should eat because you have a baby. It is wrong ideas about food. It's unawareness about healthy food.
Yes.
So then we get back to our first point.
Yeah.
How to get awareness of what is healthy and what is not healthy. And how can you put that in your daily life?
Yes.
It's all coming back to that. That's what I think.
So, if a patient wants to have IVF treatment and the person is overweight,
they will be refused for IVF. Above a certain weight, there will be no IVF.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what weight is that?
It depends on your length. It's
Okay,
mainly
so
the body
BMI.
mass index, but
BMI.
above 100 kilo, they will mostly refuse IVF.
Wow.
Yes. It's because you need medication for IVF, and if you have more body mass, you need higher medication. It will not work that well, and some stages in the IVF procedure will be more risky if you're overweight.
Yes.
So in that respect, a lot of clinics will refuse people above 100 kilo.
But is there anything like a fertility diet?
There's not really like a fertility diet. What do you mean by that? There is a diet.
I mean diet for so that you can go through the fertility treatment. That's what I mean.
Yeah. It's just a matter of losing some body mass, some fat.
Yeah.
Basically. That's all coming back to that. Yeah.
So how can
we challenge our listeners to come up with ideas about nice recipes
Exactly.
that are acceptable for people and that give more interest in how healthy food is. And so if some listener has a good idea about a nice recipe.
Exactly. All right. Somebody have question here. Yes, gentlemen.
Yes. You spoke about PCO. It's a condition people are born with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you explain
a little bit
about
about
that?
it.
Yes.
Yeah. PCO is quite a common condition in women. It's a shortage for polycystic ovary syndrome. And actually the translation of that difficult word is only that you have many eggs in your ovaries, which sounds actually very good. But the eggs are hesitating to come out.
Oh.
Wow.
That's how I explain it to my patients.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there looking at each other like, whoa, am I going or are you going? And they're just sitting there,
Really?
keeping themselves in the ovaries.
Wow.
So when there's no egg coming out, the
No
womb
menstruation.
is waiting as well,
Yeah.
and everybody is waiting,
Yeah.
so there's no menstruation.
Oh.
But you have a lot of eggs and you are absolutely fertile.
Wow. That's,
So we have a lot of women with that.
Yes.
There is some medication for it, but when they have a high body mass index, we first ask them to get to a certain level because medication won't work. And actually, a doctor is not needed. When you just lose your body weight until a certain level when you have a normal menstruation, and you just get pregnant in a more healthy condition.
so,
But how can you motivate people to lose weight? It's very hard. It's very hard.
so are you saying that weight loss is what corrects the PCO condition?
Yeah, it corrects the PCO condition. It doesn't get rid of it,
But it corrects it.
but it corrects it and you get pregnant. PCO is not a bad condition
It's a
on
bad
itself.
Oh, okay.
But PCO occurs when people are not, we're not talking about people who are in their menopause.
No. It's a complete different story of menopause.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, I say people over 40 have a very low chance of getting pregnant. Because that is a misunderstanding as well, that people with high ages, women with high ages can get pregnant. And it's not true. So people should get their babies before 40.
Yes.
Before 40. Because after 40 you get your irregular menstruation, sometimes it stops, and around 50 most of the women will get into the menopause. But long before that you have a low fertility chance. Yeah. You're not very fertile anymore.
Yeah.
Regardless of your weight.
Wow. Well, if you're out there, listening to this broadcast, please give us a call on 020-737-1619 should you want to ask Dr. Eva Robertson questions. You know, it's not always that we see people like this here. So she left her clinic to come here just to give this information. So feel free to give us a call and then interact with her. So, it means that people, because I'm just having a flashback. There was this cousin I met when my father passed on last year, and I went to Nigeria to go and bury my father. This cousin was telling me that she has not been seeing her menses, and she's a young woman. She wasn't she wasn't big, you know.
Yeah.
She was just moderate,
yeah.
but she said she has not been seen her menses, and then she thinks maybe she's pregnant. And each time she goes to the doctor to go and control herself, they tell her that she's not pregnant.
And what did the doctor tell her about this stopping the menstruation?
They didn't tell her what it was. You see, in Africa, they don't normally tell people all of this, you see. So she goes about hoping that she's pregnant. And the other elderly women around go about telling her, don't mind what they say, you are pregnant.
Yeah. There are a lot of causes for stopping the menstruation. PCO is one of them, but there are other conditions, and she should be tested in the blood. And the doctor should try to find a diagnosis for that.
Yes.
So I cannot tell now what she has, but PCO would one of these causes, and even if you're not overweight, you can have PCO. There's 20% of people with this condition that have no overweight.
Yes.
So it's much harder for them to do something because they cannot lose weight. So they need medication.
So to an average woman out there listening to this broadcast, what can be your recommendation for them to lose weight?
I think it starts with the awareness of health risks.
Okay.
Secondly, you should get an insight of what is a normal, healthy weight for you as a person.
Yes.
And that differs from, well, let's say how your contours are. But you should have like a goal, like, okay, for me 80 kilos or 90 or 100, that is a normal weight, and not 130.
Yes.
See? So you should have a goal for yourself after you have understood or got somewhere the information about what is a healthy weight for you.
Yes.
For that you could go to the doctor or the dietitian or find information on internet. Once you have set that goal for you, you should look into your lifestyle, your eating habits, and maybe get your information again from internet or the dietitian, but then look into your own life, your own lifestyle. What is reasonable? What can you implement in your setting, in your daily life? And change slowly. Slowly change habits.
Yes.
Because otherwise they won't stick.
Wow.
So don't radically don't
Stop.
eat or
Yes,
stop,
exactly.
you know, and then you go like, we call it the JoJo effect. You call it, you know, you lose weight, you gain weight, you lose weight, you gain weight. It's very depressing.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
And when you're depressed, you eat more.
I can imagine.
You know?
I can imagine. So
Yeah.
for an African, for the African people, Mr. Nebu, so for the African.
Because even some people, when they register to gym, because they are not used to exercise, the more they exercise themselves, their body is more open for food.
Exactly.
So when
That's
the
the
body
problem.
is open for food, they came back home and eat more than what they eat before. That can make that person even not gaining weight, but not losing weight. Like how the doctor said, if you are 100 and with your height, you're supposed to be 70, then you have to have a target that I am 100 and I'm looking to have 70.
Yes.
Then you have goal of going to be 70 kilos because of your height.
Yeah.
But while you exercise, you eat, you still remain 100.
Yeah.
Or sometimes 101, sometimes 99. It's a problem. And it's all that not easy for somebody
Yes.
to get up and
Hello, caller. Good morning.
It's Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick. Okay.
Can you put computer for me, please? Because I'm not ready to that.
All right.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Can you put computer music for me?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Bye bye. Continue.
okay, like what I've been saying, it's also, if you don't take care, you can, doing exercise, doing a lot of things, still remain where you are. You need an extra effort. Like I used to, it's better you give example of yourself. Sometimes if you get up in the morning, you wear your joggings to go and jog. Sometimes you can wear it and remain there, and later you remove it, it didn't go anywhere. So sometimes when you are used to it, when you go at the field, you see people anytime in the day, in the morning, in the evening, jogging, you will realize that it's not easy for someone to get up in the morning and go to the field and jog around and come back home. So the only thing that can help is you have to know the risk. Because what we have heard from the doctor today, a lot of us don't know that even overweight can cause a woman to stop menstruating.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
As for me, this is my first time of
Hearing
that, and I'm happy that I have the opportunity to be here today.
Exactly.
And there is other much risk involved. Like when you say America is one of the highest overweight countries, why? It's because of what they eat.
Yeah.
And what is the main cause of the overweight? They call it junk food. And where do we get this junk food? We get it from McDonald's, Burger King, all this fast food on the street, already made food.
Yeah,
available at any time.
Yeah, they don't even go there. Because if we go to Africa, you will see how big women are in Africa. So we don't have the junk food there, but the sort of food we are eating.
Yeah.
So it's not about the junk food.
But we are here. I'm
Right.
normally talking about what is happening here in Europe and America.
Yeah.
Even like some people, they have been using to giving their children the junk food, the patata with mayonnaise and the others. So when they grow with it, they become addicted to it.
Yes.
That addiction there is a big problem.
Well, because of our time, we'll be rounding up. So thank you so much, Mr. Lebu. But we want to hear finally from the doctor.
Okay.
Dr. Eva Robertson, can you tell us what you want us to remember?
Yeah,
for
the last
this
message
broadcast
is that
for?
you cannot lose weight on your own. You need support from your men, your family, your community. Do it together. Get some supporters, a couple of women that are overweight. Come together, talk about it, look at their food, do things together. That's the message.
Thank you so much. So women, you've heard it, that you have to come together. Everyone that is above 100 or you are approaching 100, please gather together and then talk about your overweight and then do something, not only just to talk, but do something to make sure that you lose some weight. So this has been the broadcast today, and we hope to see you again next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and thank you, Doctor, for coming. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you also, Mr. Lebu,
Okay.
for your contribution.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.